everybody. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for the great support that you guys have given us. One on our podcast, the other one is following us and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And I'm very grateful for this great experience that we've had. As you know, our main goal since we started all this social media movement with my brother was to share you everything that we've learned, all the process, the experiences that we've had, lessons learned. And I posted a couple of videos on this right now. So we closed back in November. Today is March, and so it's been a couple of months. So there has been a process to stabilize the portfolio, and that's what we're still working on. We were hoping that we were going to have everything ready by April. That's what we're shooting for. However, being more realistic, we're probably moving it to May of this year. We still have a couple properties that we're working on, a couple tenants that we're working on. When we acquired the properties, some of the properties were vacant. All the tenants in the properties had a lot of issues, a lot of financial issues. The leases were month to month, no written leases. Everything was verbal. That was a big issue that we had to face. One, from the human perspective, right? You don't want to acquire a portfolio. You don't want to acquire a property and right away start throwing people to the streets. Okay, that's not who my brother and I were. So we try to help as much as possible, but also you have to have in mind that this is a business, right? You cannot go into an investment and even though you're trying to provide a service, you also have to be able to pay the debt that you have in that asset. So treating it as such, we try to talk to the tenants, get the tenants on leases. Some of the tenants didn't want to cooperate because it's in Ohio, is relatively easier to evict the tenants that weren't working with us. And that's basically what we did. We had our property manager. Our property manager has been very helpful. We served some of the tenants with 3-day notices. Some of the tenants walked out right away. There was a couple tenants that we had to actually go to court with, taken to court, and we did, and they were evicted. Other tenants, we had different deals. Something that I learned, and I wanna share it with you guys. We actually have a tenant right now who is struggling financially, and he went to the Salvation Army. And we came out with a deal with the Salvation Army where they were gonna pay all the back rent since December, and they're gonna pay this month all the back pay, and they're gonna start paying his rent plus the water. How does that work? I don't know, but it works. It's as long as they pay the rent, as long as they get the help, and the Salvation Army is backing it up. They already have a contract with us. So that's a pretty good deal. I mean, we offer a service, we're helping an entire family. That's good. So that's what we're working on. So we stabilized that unit as well. We have 2 more tenants facing eviction because they have been late several months, and we'll be trying to work with them. And even though they pay the rent, it's always late and there's always an excuse. You give the opportunity, but you have to treat this as a business. So finally we decided that we cannot deal with this anymore. If the properties and the rents that we're charging is not or the service that we're trying to provide is not ideal for you, or it's too expensive, then we need to move forward. So we already served those 2 tenants, 2 properties, 3-day notice, and we're just waiting on the whole process of eviction to come alive. We also have 2 units that we need to fix. The tenant left it in pretty bad shape. We need to basically fix the whole unit on the inside. Carpet, painting, we need new appliances. We might need new windows just to update the unit as well. So that's what we're working on with that unit. There's another unit that when we purchased the furnace, was broken, and because it's Ohio, there has been a lot of snow, it's very cold, so it's very difficult fixing of that property because of the weather. So we decided, hey, let's focus on the properties that are already either working and we just need little cosmetic fixes here and there, rent them out, put them in the market and rent them out. And let's leave that property for last, okay? Because it's not a priority, even though it's the house that if we had in the market or if we were renting it to a tenant, it would have been the highest rent for the specific property. It's a beautiful house on the outside. Like I said, on the inside, it needs a lot of work. You have to manage, priorities and all that. And we decided that to leave it to the end. And that's the type of issues that you need to work on, with your team. In this case, it's my brother, the property manager, and myself, where we have to decide what to do. You want to get everything together at the same time. You want to work on all the properties at the same time and have them all running at the same time and be like a machine. But that's not the reality. That's not how things work. So you have to attack one issue at a time. All right. And not only that, but as you're fixing one issue, another one comes out. And so it's constantly managing, constantly coming with strategics, constantly coming with priorities. You might be working with a priority right now where like, okay, this is what we need to do today, but then something pops, and that's the nature of this business. The thing is that we enjoy it. We have weekly meetings with our property manager, and our property manager tells us, hey, this is what's going on right now. How do you want me to move forward? And then he goes on and fixes the issue. Again, because of the weather sometimes, because of laws, because we need to take somebody to court, the process might take a little longer. But then, like I said, you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what's going on right now. It was 20 doors that we acquired. There were no leases on none of us. There was a lot of issues. A lot of people didn't want to pay rent at the beginning. They were very disgruntled, and we had to evict some people. We had to fix some properties. We have to take priorities and leave some properties vacant until we fix the easy ones and start getting more cash flow. Our goal with these properties is either start selling them as we fix them and as we stabilize on them. So we might sell them one at a time, or we might sell the entire portfolio at once by the middle of this year or end of this year, depending on when we're able to stabilize everything. So if you're interested in a turnkey property, let us know. And this is the type of properties that are already stabilized and they're cash flowing, and we can move on from there. We can help you with that. I'm glad that I can share all this experience with you guys. I'm very happy that everything that's happening to us since last year is happening. We decided to invest out of state, and this is some of the challenges that you have to face on the daily basis, on the weekly basis, and the planning of it. The operations of the business, which are, in my opinion, are very entertaining. So if you like all the content, hit the subscribe button. Ask us any questions. We're happy to answer it. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and here on YouTube, and also on our podcast, the Millionaire Listed. So I hope you find this content helpful. If you like us, hit the subscribe button. Ask us any questions anytime. We're here to help. And until then, my friends, stop playing games and play the game. Peace out.